Ready?
All right, I'm ready.
Continue with the underbody storage. We're getting ready to secure the floor sheet metal.
So we're marking in a line where the rivets need to go because it's going to go through this top layer here and then down into the hat channel below it.
A good technique that we found is when we stretch the plumb bob across for a nice straight line, and then we put our tape measure beside it, then we just put the dots in between and we're able to count the dots on the line. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 inches apart. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Because I refuse to use math. Why think about something when you don't need to? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So this is 7 apart. That's fine.
Yeah.
Cool. And then something that I made a mistake of before was when I slid backwards, my whole body smeared all the dots off. So don't do that. But definitely smear your body on this because it's funny.
Yeah. There she goes.
Bye-bye.
That's how you get around an underbody storage.
Just smear.
So we use the clamp to clamp the plumb bob straight, and then this is just loose right here. So we'll move it over to this side and we'll do the same thing.
There it is. Well, that didn't take too long.
No, sure didn't.
Am I getting better at this?
Yeah, you are. Now throw a rivet in there
Oh, yeah.
before you drill another one.
Okay. So previous to getting this drill bit, me drilling holes was painful. Like, it would just take forever, and Brian would get sick of waiting for me, and anytime I set the drill down, he would just take it and start drilling. So me helping was like pretty much being vacuum girl and camera girl, which is irritating when you want to help. So now we've got these tri-bore cobalt tips, which means that they essentially have 3, I don't know, it's like a little star, but like 3-pointed star on the tip. So, and it's a cobalt bit, so it's a lot stronger, and it's just smashing through these holes, which is really nice. So I'm gonna get back to drilling and let Brian be rivet vacuum boy today. At least for a bit, until he's under the bus. Vacuum? Oh, you're over there.
Oh my God, I figure at some point it might be easier to do everything else from over here.
I like crawling. Here.
Well, you can continue crawling.
There you go. Alright, just leave the big hose here.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Smoggy. I like laying down on the job. Is this thing still rolling?
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus. Look at me lounging.
We had what seemed like a million holes to drill and rivets to pop, securing the sheet metal floor to the frame beneath it.
Oh, look at that. Worked out perfect. Look at that.
I think she did a good job.
Perfect spacing.
Everybody give her a comment. Let her know she did a good job.
I measured.
I'm proud of you.
Measured by counting.
Yeah. There you go. She used a ruler. She used a tape measure.
Right.
Don't wipe it all off now.
I'm gonna try to go this way. See if I can get out of here.
So originally, I was going to drill up through the bottom so that I could hit dead center on the angle iron. But what we did was there's bolts down here that are holding the angle iron in place. And then here's the channel, the center, this V. And so we've got an 1.5 inch target. So as long as I've got this line positioned to be like right in the middle, which is 3/4 inch away from the center line, as long as we're on this line, drilling through the top down, we should be good. So we're gonna try one. Well, we're gonna mark all the dots, try one, see how we do, and then see if that's a good idea. I don't know.
Oh, I think it's gonna be a really good idea because all I felt was pain for Brian when he was under the bus, and he felt legit pain when he was drilling
Legitimate pain.
from under the bus. So anything we can do to relieve him of that job would be muy bueno.
When?
Did you make it?
Oh, right in the middle. Oh yeah, the first one made it. All right, first one went in really nice. Now we've got a lot more to go, guys. A lot more drilling.
Crazy town under the bus.
Crazy town, crazy people.
So we are about to finish off the bolts in the floor, right?
Yeah, we got some longer bolts.
Yeah, we've got a lot of bolting in our immediate future. So we're gonna set this down, you guys down for just a bit, and we'll catch back up with you when we're done, because I kind of doubt you want to see us put a million more bolts on the floor.
Bolts and washers.
Nuts.
As Aaron dropped in bolts from the top, I put on the washer with a nylock nut that has thread locker on it.
You got that right, kids. We're still doing this.
Oh my gosh. Just push the last hole through. Put the last bolt through. Shoulders are smoked.
Brian's an animal.
I'm dirty as hell. I don't know if you can see that.
Oh, he's filthy.
Here. Here's some light. Look at that.
Filthy man.
Freaking dirty gurdy. Dirty gurdy.
He's a dirty gurdy.
All right, so that concludes putting in bolts. Next up, what are we doing next? Hangers?
Maybe the hangers.
Yeah, we'll do hangers next.
Because 4 of the hangers will be buried in the walls.
Yeah.
So it'd be nice to get those out of the way so we can insulate the walls and then put the walls up.
Yeah. So these hangers, what it's basically going to do, it's going to act like, kind of like, you know, how the Golden Gate Bridge or suspension bridges have all those things hanging down. Well, not a single one of them can hold up the entire bridge, but in the whole system, it all works together. So we're going to put in some of those things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just like not one rivet is going to hold this floor together, or one bolt, or one washer.
Or one lug nut holding all those wheels on.
Yep.
It takes a team of them.
All the lovers together doing the nice thing.
Creates a really strong system. And so the point of putting these vertical supports is going to be basically hanging this underbody off of the chassis also to help further distribute the load, because there's no single point load in here. It's more of a distributed load across the entire field, essentially. So it's just part of the whole thing.
This is the shiniest field I've ever seen.
This is a shiny field of dreams. Shiny field of dreams. You're underneath the chassis, it looks like.
Yeah, I'm in.
Yeah.
Just me in this crawl space here.
Yeah.
The nice thing is that we can both fit crawling around in here.
Oh, yeah.
I can see once we start getting stuff in, like this is gonna get really interesting.
Oh, yeah. It's going to be like a jigsaw puzzle.
Yeah.
Or a Tetris game or something.
Yeah, but I think we're both pretty confident with our design ideas and the layout, that if we need to fix something, we'll be able to pull the thing that's in front of it out to get to it. But we'll be sharing that in upcoming videos. But yeah, the goal of this video would be to, we got the bolts done. Check. Get the hangers in and hopefully insulate and put the walls up, potentially put the flanges around the gaps. You probably can't see past my head, but the gaps. Where the chassis goes through the walls.
Here. Yeah, there's a little bit of a gap, but that's normal for that. So you just have to seal it off. So we'll have to figure out what we're going to do for that.
Yeah.
Because we haven't gotten to that step yet, and there's not really a manual for this. So we're taking notes as we go. And we'll write something up at some point.
Yeah.
But
we've got some good ideas for what we're going to do with it. So hopefully we get there before this video is done. If not,
there will be more videos.
You know it. Okay, let's do this. How do you?
Oh, you can, if you just set it on this or something, you can hold that like that.
Yep.
And you can do this. And then there's the mark. So put one here and one there.
It's like an optical illusion, man. Oh, one guy's gone. We made it!
That's good. It's funny every time.
It's a plump up.
All right, so I'm pushing the beam clamp all the way in first so that I can see like what's its final resting place going to be, and extending the threaded rod down. So with it all the way snugged up, we need it to be able to hit the angle iron that's below this floor section. So with that snugged up, I feel like that's going to be a good spot for it right there. So now we'll move this down until it touches.
And we want it to be as straight as possible. There we go. So I'm gonna draw a circle where this guy is, where his footprint is. And it's the circle's a little bit wider than it. So I'll just dead nut it.
That means hit the target in the center.
Dead nut it.
For those of you wondering.
Yeah, so now we can just draw a dot in the center of it approximately. And hopefully we've got enough clearance here for the drill with the bit.
Oh, under the hatch channel. Oh my god. Or a big
Under
chassis.
the chassis? Potentially. Haha! Perfect! As if it was meant to be.
Oh, this should be interesting. There we go.
Here's the massive nylock nut that's going to go down below. We're also going to put some thread locker on it. So put a little bit here inside the nut before I squeeze down below. I don't know if you can see that. There you go, thread locker. Nice, huh? All right, let's see if I can scoot underneath the bus with the camera without destroying the camera. This should be interesting. Oh, that's nice. Oh, perfect. I see exactly where it's come out.
You should. It's a long ride.
Yeah. Well, that was the point, is so that there'd be enough room to maneuver. Oops.
Do you need lights down there?
I have a light.
I think this is gonna work really good.
Yeah, I think so too. All right, so I've got it finger tight. If you want to hold the beam clamp now,
Yep.
I'm going to tighten this just so that the first few threads come out through the thread lock or through the nylock. There we go. That feels tight. That's nice.
That's better. That looks pretty awesome.
Down here, the reason why we have a nut and a washer is because if we hit a bump, we want to prevent the floor from coming up. And then we've got the big washer underneath so that it helps distribute the load that is carried by the 3/8 inch rod onto the beam clamp. Now, these beam clamps are rated to 300 pounds, but the 3/8 inch threaded rod is rated up to 600 pounds of direct downward force. So with having one here and one there, combined load is 600 pounds here, but we also have the floor, we also have the layers, we also have the angle iron. So I think that it'll be able to hold the water and any of the load in here without a problem.
So we're gonna need to do things over here a little bit differently because of these wire looms. We opened one of them up and it's actually copper pipe in there. So that's why they're so rigid and why they're not moving. So this rod is gonna have to be on the outside of the chassis and we're gonna hang it from a rib instead of the chassis, which is fine because this thing is supported by the chassis anyways. So like Brian said, it's all a system. So this guy will just be a little bit longer. And instead of using the clamp at the top, we're going to use a nut, a nylock nut at the top. So let's go.
What the hell?
All right, you're gonna dress the end?
Yep.
This is how you straighten out the threads, everyone. You use a nut. I'm gonna push it back down. I'm gonna go bevel the end now. Come with me.
Smoke it. That's great. I think we might need a washer on that side.
Yeah. We'll put a washer on both sides of the rib.
On both sides. There we go, got a few threads hanging out. There are 8 total threaded rods that are acting as suspenders holding onto the span of floor decking. As the bottom nut is tightened, you can see the deck level out.
After all the bolts and threaded rod were set, Brian went in and trimmed all the long rods shorter to help prevent snags. Thank goodness.
Well, that was a painus in the anus. So next up, we're gonna work on a little bit of the insulation. I gotta tell you, this underbody storage,
Sucks.
it's not the favorite project, to say the least.
Sucks.
Cramped conditions,
Cold.
it's cold,
Bitchy.
not happy.
Bitchy.
I do have to say though that we did a pretty good job with all of these attachment points. It's super strong. There were a few spots in the middle, just in the span for the middle 4 that we actually tightened from the bottom up, and that seemed to do pretty good, making the floor nice and square all the way across. So that was good. So now we just have to finish the bulkheads with insulation. I just have to say that this is a tough project. Like, Out of 10, how many would you give it stars?
22.
22 out of 10. So it's way off the chart. I'm sore. Aaron's sore.
Grumpy.
We're both grumpy. And it's just coming out all right. It's coming out all right.
It's coming out great. It's just shitty project to work on.
Shitty project. So, well, we will continue. Using drops from other insulation projects we've done so far, we taped together pieces of 1-inch insulation to cover the front and rear bulkheads for the first 2 layers.
While Brian was having fun with his tape measurer, I used my creativity to piece pieces together as I went. If a piece was too big, I cut it down, and if a piece was too small, I added another piece to the space.
After piecing together the first layer, I went ahead and got our last piece of foam board, traced out the design, and did one full cutout, and then it went in smoothly with both Aaron and I putting it up.
Yeah.
How's it going over here in this tight space?
Okay. Going good.
It looks like it.
I'm literally just taking our scraps for the first layer and filling in the space, and then hopefully with the last chunk that Brian has, he can do a full piece. But I guess how we look at it is we've got a whole bunch of scraps and we want to use them because there's no point in buying more.
Got that right.
Sometimes you can't afford to buy more. So use what you have, keep shit out of the dump, and yeah, we're doing our best to do that. So the first layer is going to be a little Frankenstein-y, but it's kind of a theme with our bus. And the top layer looks nice and smooth. So, I mean, it should come back on any drafts. And then, yeah, we've got some more ideas for sealing this deal up. So stay tuned. Nice. See this? I'm gonna fill that. With something else.
That's great.
Guess what? I never threw that piece out. Instead, for my X-Acto. Oh, there you are, Ulfa. We could have thrown that piece out, but we didn't.
Nice.
We didn't and we won't. Because this shit will bend pretty good.
Yeah.
And I'm just gonna manipulate it until it is kind of what I want. See this? I'm just lining it up to where the edge is.
That's great.
And then I'm gonna stuff it in there like that. And I'm gonna fill this in and I'm gonna fill that in.
You're fucking
With
great.
other pieces. Check that out. That is ugly. That is ugly. Right there, pretty ugly. Right there. But look at, once we get some duct tape on that, nobody will ever know.
Nobody will know.
It's our basement, so we can do what we want. There's hat.
My moose antlers.
Moose knuckle.
This is my moose knuckle.
Sorry guys, we need a little camera break. While we were gone, we cut all the pieces for the front and rear walls. And we broke the edges of them. We just figured you guys probably didn't care to watch us cut a bunch of squares and put some breaks in them. So that's what we were up to. Here, check out what we did. You see Brian? He's over there.
Hi. So this piece is not going to work very well.
Oh no.
We need to notch it It'll be less mathing. There it goes.
Yeah.
Cool, that'll fit nice and tight. All right, hole pre-drilled. So we're using number 14 hex head self-tapping screws. However, they are self-tapping. I find it's a lot easier to screw them in if they already have a little pilot hole. So we're using a drill bit that is about the same width as the shank minus the threads, because the threads have to hold into something.
We'll cut that part. We'll cut that part too.
I'm editing this. So we'll see if this works. There we go.
That's right, folks. That's Brian's breath you're looking at there. It's that cold. It's that cold, Brian.
It is that cold.
To-
What is it in here? It is 9 Celsius, or about 40-ish Fahrenheit.
Feels a lot colder laying on metal.
That's pretty tight right there.
Yeah.
Go ahead and just... All right, so I'm gonna give a little bit of room here because we're not sure what the wall's gonna do. How's that sound?
Yep.
So we'll come to about here. Perfect.
See that control?
I did.
Alright, this time I won't be so aggressive.
As soon as it punches through, stop and just go ch-ch until the head is flush.
Flush head.
Stop, stop. You're done.
Done.
Yeah, you're done. You see how the metal's already touching?
Yeah.
Yeah, if you spin that again, you strip it out and it's not gonna hold.
That's a piece of shit. Oh, that's right. All right, I'm going under the bus to do some seam sealing. This should be interesting and fun. Some of you may not think this is totally necessary, and it may not be, but we like to cover our ass here at Be Adventure Partners. So I'm gonna go under the bus and seal up all the places where metal is overlapping, just to make it watertight. Right, Brian?
Yeah, girl!
While I do that, Brian is going to be mathy.
I'm mathing.
Go figure. And he's going to finish covering up, well, at least making the pieces to put in the rest of the spots that go around the chassis, so that we can waterproof those puppies too on the exterior side of them. Look at him over there being mathy.
Yeah, mathing.
He's napping.
Mathing.
There he's napping. Making nice drawings.
Drawing. All right, y'all. So now that we have the middle, the side sections of the front and rear bulkhead done, now what we're doing is measuring the distance for the in-between pieces. We were thinking about doing this all at one piece, but we don't have a metal brake that's long enough to be able to do the bends. So we broke it out into various sections. So now what we're doing here is we're just allowing for about 1 inch of overlap on either side, and it's gonna go all the way up. It's basically gonna be these same pieces, but we're gonna have a cut out of the middle, break it down horizontally, and then slide it through. That way we can seal off this area, then we'll rivet it all together. And to seal around these, because the idea of this is to seal the water from the exterior. we're gonna blow in some spray foam in the big void areas, like around up here, down through here, and just seal it off really good from the exterior. From the exterior also, we're gonna be putting seam sealer. So we'll have to see how that all plays out because we haven't done one yet. So let's check it out.
It's not about beauty, friends. It's about sealing her up. Originally, Brian and I had planned on making this so that if we needed to take it apart, we could take it apart. As we started building it, we were like, that's a ridiculous idea. And, well, not a ridiculous idea. It's just like, I'd rather build it bomb-proof, make it really sturdy, than worry about how we're going to take this thing apart and all that jazz. So then we started to fix it. So it would be permanent, and it's just way better. It's like, gives us more opportunity to make it super watertight, and yeah.
I'm gonna keep working on that. Catch you later.
Looks like down here. It's tight, can't see much. It's cold. All right, y'all, so I just got back from the metal shop. I cut some more pieces. Do y'all want to see more metal shop cutting? Because I think it's kind of boring stuff, but you know, all I was doing is cutting pieces that look like this. They're square, and then you cut them in a little right angle. You can do this with a big old brake like what we're using, or you can use it with do it with some angle iron or something. So we got a few pieces. So around here, where the C channel of the chassis comes through the wall, what these pieces essentially are going to do is they're going to frame it out so that we can then spray some spray foam insulation and use seam sealer and stuff like that. The object is to seal up this entryway. Now I know that there's all sorts of wire looms and stuff going through the wall there, but I don't know of another way to seal this off completely, because that's the front bulkhead right there, and water and stuff from the road will be splashing up in that area. And I've tried to find pictures online of how these things are actually sealed off, and came up empty-handed. So this is how we're doing it, and hopefully it works. If it doesn't work, we'll try something else. What do you think?
Yeah.
There's Erin.
I'm still down here.
Oh, there she is.
Hi.
There
I
she
can't
is.
see anything because the light's shining in my eyes. Hi.
All right, guys, so these first pieces are gonna go on the outside facing, the first couple pieces that I put on. So I'm gonna dry fit them first and then see how I'm gonna attach them, because I'm limited on space, but they've gotta go up in there. And hopefully I can pop a rivet in there because it's quick and it's a fun fastener. Rivets are fun fasteners. Yeah, so let's go under the box.